This video will show you how to replace the battery on a Ford Transit-250. This will be located under your driver's side seat. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on the removal of our battery. You're going to find that the battery is located under the driver's side seat. With that said, let's go ahead and slide this rearward as far as possible. Now that I have that slid, we can gain access to our two pieces of forward hardware. For each of these pieces of hardware, we're going to be using a T40 Torx bit. It's essentially shaped like a star. Put this on here. There's that bolt. Let's do the same to the other. Same positioning on the opposite side. There's our second mounting bolt. Both of these do look the same. You do not need to worry about mixing them up. Now that's both pieces of hardware across the front. Let's make our way to the rear. For that, we'll just go ahead and lift up on the forward rod here so we can slide this forward. Now from along the back side of the seat, we can see the hardware here. We're using the same tool, T40 Torx head. Now at this point, we're going to have to flip the seat over towards the passenger side so we can gain access underneath this area. Just going to adjust my seat back. Now at this point, we should be able to carefully lift up the seat just enough that we can bring it up and over our parking brake lever, and we're resting it towards the passenger side out of our way. So we have that flipped up and out of the way. We're looking down along this area. We can see that we have a foam panel. This is held in place with 3 plastic push clips. Start pulling those out. We can leave them in the foam panel. Just a quick inspection. We'll set that aside. Now under that area, you're going to find that you have 2 8mm headed mounting bolts to be removed. There's one. There's the second. We can take hold of this panel. We're going to carefully start sliding it rearward and away from the front. That just slides out of place. Now, if necessary, you could continue on, just carefully pulling this out of place here. Generally, you could just pull it right off of there by hand. If you have a hard time, you could continue on with your trim tool or a flat blade screwdriver. Just slide that off of there. We don't need to remove this wire from here, but if you did, just go ahead and slide it right out of there. I'm going to just go ahead and set this aside. Now we can remove the plastic panel across the top here. We'll take hold of this. Should want to work out of position. Just wiggle it side to side. I can remove this panel as well. That exposes our battery. Let's start with the negative battery terminal. As far as disconnecting our negative battery terminal, use a 10mm to loosen the mounting nut just enough that we can remove the terminal end from the battery post. A thorough inspection of this, we will be cleaning it. For now, we'll set it aside. We'll move along to the positive battery terminal. You may find you have a plastic protective cover. Go ahead and take hold of that cover, we'll pivot it out of place, and we have the same mounting hardware here. 10mm, go ahead and loosen that up. Quick inspection, we will clean it. Go ahead and set it aside for now. Along the back side of the battery here, we do have a vent tube to be removed. We'll carefully pry this out of place. After that, we'll make our way along the driver's side of the battery tray here. You're going to find that you have a plastic portion that goes straight from front to rear. We're just lifting it up and pulling it out of position. At this point, we're going to take hold of the battery and remove it from the vehicle. Keep in mind, this may be heavy. Now, prior to installing any battery, the first thing we like to do is make sure we clean and inspect any mounting areas. As for this, we're going to pay attention to our 2 battery posts. I have a battery brush. No corrosion or debris. Same process for the other one. This is looking good. After cleaning that, let's make our way to the battery terminals next. I still have my battery brush. I'm just using the wire brush end here, making my way around the inner portion here. Just make sure there's no corrosion or debris. The negative terminal looks good. I'm going to continue on to the positive terminal next. Same process, just a quick cleaning and a close inspection. Let's get our battery in place. When we bring this in, we're pressing it down as far as possible. We'll make sure it's flush. Nothing is underneath it aside from the battery tray. Press it all the way over towards the passenger side as far as possible. We're going to lock it in using our cross beam. Now, as far as this cross beam is concerned, I'm just going to lift up this panel so I can show you where it rests. You can see one area here. We have the same exact thing on the rearward side. You don't have to remove the foam panel for that. I just wanted to show you exactly what it looks like here. Now that I have the battery in place, we have our vent tube that's going to slide into this area here on the battery. Line it up, press it in as far as possible. Double check, make sure that's secured in place. Now we're going to continue on with the positive battery terminal first. As far as the positive battery terminal, we'll make sure that our cable is going down inside of this box where it needs to be, first of all. Slide that over there, press that down. Continuing on, we'll make sure that the battery terminal is seated properly on the battery post. We're pressing it on as far as possible. We'll make sure that's secured by tightening our 10mm mounting nut. That's bottomed out. We'll just take it a tiny bit further here. We do not want to break anything, but we do need to make sure there's no movement. Continue on to the negative battery terminal. We have our negative battery terminal. We're bringing this into position, pressing it down as far as possible, just like with the positive. Now we can tighten our 10mm nut. Just double check, make sure that's secured. You can see where I have the negative battery terminal leading through the battery tray. There's a small slot here. This needs to be rested in the proper positioning. If you happen to have a plastic protective cover for your positive terminal, let's just go ahead and reinstall that. Line it up, press it in. Continuing on, we have our plastic tray that goes along the top of the battery. We'll make sure we have it in the proper orientation. We're just going to take this and we're sliding it down along the top of this area. Press it in, we're listening for an audible click. If you remove the side door leading to that negative battery terminal, go ahead and install that as well. Now, as far as this is concerned, looking along the rearward side, you have two locating tabs, and those would slide into these slots here. Looking up on our locking tab, just going to press this down and over. Double check, make sure that's secured in place. Let's move along to our metal bracket. This is going to go over and along the top of the plastic plate. Now, along the front of this will actually slide underneath the front crossbeam. While I have that in the proper position, I'm taking the rearward side. We'll start bringing this down. We want to confirm that we don't have anything trapped underneath here that might get damaged. Now that I have this brought down to what I feel is the proper positioning, before I continue on with my two pieces of hardware, let's make sure that we resecure our wiring harness. We don't want this trapped under here. Press that in, double check, make sure it's secure. Two 8mm mounting bolts, one for each port along the rearward side. Go ahead and snug them up. Double check to make sure this is secured in place. Now we have our panel that's going to rest along the top of this. We have our three plastic tabs. Those will fit into their corresponding ports. Line them up, press them in. At this point, let's start reinstalling our front seat. When we bring this down into position, we need to make sure we have it aligned properly. Now, if you were looking at the seat channels along each side on the front, you're going to find a circular port for those alignment tabs to slide into. Let's go ahead and carefully bring this down into position. We want to be careful not to cause any damage to our electrical wiring harness. Let's get this lined up. Now I can see that I'm properly aligned. We'll start installing our mounting bolts. Now, as far as our mounting bolts are concerned, we like to make sure the threads are clean, and I also like to use blue thread locker. We're going to start in each one of our 4 mounting bolts by hand, confirming they're not cross-threaded into the wrong positioning. After all 4 of them are started in, we can bottom them out and then torque them to 18 foot-pounds. On the back side here, we need to make sure we're aligned. Start in those bolts as well. There's the next one in here. They're started in. Let's go ahead and snug them up, torque them down. Now at this point, we finished our installation. Go ahead and start the vehicle several times to confirm the battery's properly hooked up. Aside from that, go ahead and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.